What's up, guys? This is the bartist with another one. Basically, what happened here is I cut his hair last week, and he asked me to touch it up. Just because I am who I am, I decided to recreate the design and come up with something more innovative and much more different than what he had before. Now, if you want to see his design from before, you can click on the link down below. Now, as you can see, I'm using the tip of my T outliner to make my lines. I'm grazing along the hair while cutting the hair. I'm not digging into his head and causing pain and trauma to him. I'm just grazing along the hair, and the T outliner is doing its job by just cutting off the hair one time. Now, if you dig too deep into the hair, you're gonna cause your lines to be much longer, and because it's such a big design, the person who's sitting in the chair, they're gonna get frustrated because of how you're using your clippers. Your technique has to be very, 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 very good for this type of design, especially because it's so long and so cumbersome. Now, as you can see, I'm using my thumb to basically guide me to where I want to be at, and the brush is a necessity. You brush away all of the hair that is left over from the T outliner cutting it, and you also brush the hair in the direction you want the hair to be cut. So if you want the hair to be cut, you have to brush it in a certain direction to get that crisp line. Now right here, I'm starting to make some flames on the top of his head. As you see, I'm using the T outliner to slightly graze that, make that little curve. Now it's very easy to make that curve. Now you can brush the hair back so that you can make your line more defined. Or like me, you can use a razor at the end. Now that technique that I'm using here is basically using the flat side of, I'm not using the tip, I'm using the whole outliner, and I'm just making my line. I'm dragging it to the side and creating that crisp line. Now right here, I'm making a couple flames, and these flames are very easy to make. You just start from the tip and make a curve up like an S, and you connect the two lines that you made from the beginning. It's basically like an S. You start from the bottom, make a little round like a butt, and then curve in and come up like a Coca-Cola bottle shape. Except you meet at a tip in the beginning. At the end, sorry. Now, we're coming up with another one right here. Nice little design. And now this is all freestyle. I came up with this design off the top of my head. A lot of people ask me, what were you doing? But it was just basically a freestyle, something I had fun doing. And right now the design doesn't look like too much because it's in its raw stages. I still have to make my fades and whatnot. Thanks to all my subscribers. I enjoy you guys. I do this stuff more than I do my homework. So right now I'm putting on some shaving cream with water. So what I do is I wet my hands, I rub the water into my hands, and then I take a dab of shaving cream, rub that in, and then put it in his hair to make his hair soft. Then I take the brush and I brush that in, get my razor, and I start cutting. Now as you can see, you see where my thumb is? Basically I'm holding the skin so it could be a cleaner cut. Cleaner, more precise cut. Whenever you put your thumb near to where you're shaving, is a cleaner, more easier cut. Never pull down too hard with this cutter. The first time you might not get it, but eventually you will get it. Never pull down too much. Just continue doing it over and over like I'm doing. I'm making small little strokes up and down, small strokes up and down, and I'm using my thumb to hold the skin tight. Now you always have to bear in mind that these razors are very sharp. Alright, now what I'm doing, I have my trimmer. Cool trimmer, cost me about $100. Any guys want to just hit me up. I'm creating a couple fades, as you can see right there. I'm creating a fade so it can look, so that this design could look more three-dimensional and more just dynamic all over. Now I'm just going against the grain because I don't want to take off too much hair, and that's a technique that I use when fading against the grain a lot. It all depends on the artist. A lot of people don't know, but I'm an artist also. So I cut in all different directions. It just doesn't matter to me as long as the job is done. I believe that is the right way to do it. What I'm doing here now, I have the clipper closed, not too much, like 1/3 closed, and I'm just going up a dab. Creating a little fade in the flames. The flames always need fades. In my suggestion, I believe that the flames always need fades, especially from the bottom to the top or from on both sides. Now what I'm doing, I have the clipper closed, and now I just open the clipper halfway, going up and brushing down. Now the clipper is open all the way. Now I just created my full fade, and now I'm going up on the sides to create more of a three-dimensional look to the design. Always use your brush, And what I did with this design was I cut off a lot of the bottom part of the design, just because I thought the top was more important, and I wanted people to focus more on the ends of the flame than in the beginning of the flames, at the bottom of the flame. So I decided to do it like that. Always use your brush, Now I know there are a lot of people that are starting off. They're just starting and learning how to cut. Be very confident in your style. Because once you start to lose confidence, you start to lose your design, you start to lose your cut, you start to lose customers, and people don't want somebody that is not confident. So you try to be as confident as possible when you're cutting somebody's hair, and know what you're doing. Ask the customer question. Don't ask them too much questions, because then they start to think, maybe he doesn't know what he's doing. So always think about that. Think about your customers. Give free haircuts in the beginning when you're starting out. Right now I'm cutting inside of a bathroom in the dorms, and yeah, I learned how to cut hair by myself. I'm only 21 years old, and I'm doing this. I'm doing it like the professionals. So you guys do your thing. Hit me up, follow me, I'll help you out. I might not answer all your text questions, but I'll get to them eventually. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm catching up. Got a lot of work to do, you know what I mean? Now I'm using the T outliner to outline the customer right here. And this is just a basic outline, straight line, come down. What I would do, I would comb his beard hair backwards, and then use the T outliner and cut off that hair. Because I comb the beard in all different directions, because you never know if he one day wakes up and doesn't decide to brush his beard or whatever, the outline will still be there. No, you guys would know from my other tutorials that this is the proper way to outline somebody right here. That's a crisp, nice outline. And now what I'm doing, I'm just doing the sides. Even though it's a really deep fade, I'm still outlining the sides. A lot of barbers sometimes don't do that, but I do. I also use the razor on the sides, but I'm not using the razor on the sides for this tutorial right now, because it's too long. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys check out my page. My name is The Bardist, if you didn't know, and subscribe. You know, ask me some questions. I might take them into consideration and make more videos. Peace. The Bardist out.